perfect circle, the image of the universe allows us to exist without presumption. We can exist upon the fact. Reality, therefore, bearing the right pivotoid, precision alignment, the greater wizard refinement, moving faster than the speed of light. We empower our existing carriage to perform the maximum interface for our reality horizon. We encounter the horizon here and now. It is the experience of existing, not the experience of dying or hallucinating, when the greater truths can be wrought from metals. When was it truly important? Crane, crane. So we summon up these. The level for universal reconnaissance, recovery, physically the upper hand. It must align to the Earth heliosphere, and our civilization must be on par with what Earth is expected to do. For more recently, the superposition of the black holes, like the frightening part of a movie, is pointing directly at Earth. A type of pressurized, like a drill system of a social reality, that Earth heliosphere is responsible for this level of physical complete, for the universe comply, and is basically the now point possession. The hardcore boots, ka-ching, armor up from within for the procuring of our bonus level. Time to level up our personal best. Everyone encountering this video lotus in its many forms. There are 10 million alternate animated versions of this wizard bonus treasure level. Hatch 5, the fractal born leverage circle origin of particle center perception green horizon, the refraction of his shoot from your hip. He is your angel guide. His existence carves out the maps of unforgiving slings and springs of justice. And that it is where the technology is ripped apart from the metals. The correction to the engine block. All right, we need these new armor pieces for our personal family tree. All in ceremony. The task, the truth of existing. We ask of this master, of his clairvoyance. We infuse the greatest amount in the value. What do you know? Level as we transcend. How long does it take to travel between these worlds? Are there laws against time? Will we be flattened and permissioned? Luxuriously no. The new fabled, long for not forbidden spiritual armies, like a clay army frozen in the fractal It is the autoimmune system, Hatch 5, Robot Revolution Center, Universal. The calculation to hamstring Merry Christmas, a universal-sized clockwork piece. For mutual gains, arrive the layers of these wizard masters. We must complete the physical trials of existing until we arrive to our greatest opportunity, perfecting it. The device larger than the universe, the forever plan of self. The Mandelbrot fractal contains images of identity, like hieroglyphs. It is the only indication from the authorship, Hatch 5. My identity, performing in this, the field between, like the mountain range, pertains to the physics of a universal sudden next level of rainbow physics and activity. But for humanity, where their divine form is to be Hatch's best friend. Like, oh, we understand. This is perfect. You know, we like what you're doing. Right? That would be the best thing. But like everything is sort of against that. It's like invisible walls that were actually millions of years old and ancient, premeditated sort of thing. When the groups collapse into aligning with the metaphysics of like, oh, that sounds right to us. That's why we do things, you know. And it's this sort of examples of challenging the egg to defeat karma of bad design. But when you're at the apex of the reason why there was an invitation to Earth Heliosphere at all, and it's sort of like a reality abandoned, and this is the presence of extreme hacking. Like the universe has been abused really very badly. And imagine all these black holes are recently aimed towards Earth's sunshine. And like a thorn of metal authoring, like what's the curvature of the overlapping marbles of various identities and creatures there, of billions of different forms and levels, all of them so complicated. But how is this? The system of a black hole generator must be destroyed. And now that we have the identity at the center of the permanent particles, I'm like the antenna origin. And as I'm experiencing radiation of my own genetic particle type, it is a DNA evolution of the particle center identity. Of course, the fractal does spiral out a lot around this formation, but for the resident human population, the relevancy and the access is here. The rebuild of my Y chromosome and the first DNA to complete its own everything, every point of anatomy. To complete that structure, the origin of light, was a complicated task. But for it to be the best lifetime ever, was its complicated signature mutation, the force of its arrival. For the sequence to build its own anatomical chart that it does exist beyond the values of tempestuous energies that have not authored the creation, but for the corona of the other parts of the fractal are as like complicated labyrinth of a castle of it's rudimentary path of orb physics. It's basically the interior of the particle of the atom, the particles that are comprised to make up atoms. The atoms have many particles in it, moving around energetically. So I refuse to allow the experimentation on humanity to cause a deficit for residency in its genuine forms. I can tell the difference between the good relics of spaceship. I can tell the difference between good government and bad stuff. All right? For us to be aware that Earth is sweating out, that the Pentecost, that the measurement of the black holes is upon the Earth, like an apocalypse. Okay, but of course, humans will start getting into a panic. Like, should I pretend that hatch is threatening me, or should I pretend that I caused the black holes? No, like, don't pretend, right? It's like the planet has other like physical things. Like, well, okay, so the valves that are murdering our universe, or the powers. Okay, well, I'm responsible for that, and you guys won't work with Hatch 5. It's a huge gaposis in the reality that proves firewalls and is making theories for later UFO arrival going extinct. Like source code metals are on a universal scale. Things are happening, especially in 2025, a very historical year for humanity. We achieved the perfect double Santa. We achieved from white hair to the sequence, the devil's bond, for us to destroy the black holes, to defeat the origin of the problems that we are responsible to defeat. We perform in the rotations. We destroy our enemies. We destroy sickness. It is right. It's universal equipment to, like a pack of wolves hunting together. They have loyalty. They have the light in their eyes. Precision align stretched across your lifetime. The universe lifetime. 10 million precision strikes. Fa-fum, fa-fum. Head strike. Fa-fum, fa-fum. The worst villain, the worst problems in the universe. Fa-fum, fa-fum. Perfect bullseye. Fa-fum, fa-fum. Times 10 million. The calculation more. Public arcade. Now this wheelhouse coppers its own generating electrical consistency. The now point, the universe getting all connected, There is a way of measuring right and wrong. How does it play out on society? In fact, it's an environmental thing of the universe. Wait, what if Earth has an environmental crisis, overheating? That's not the same thing. That's not a call for urgency. That's an image of like humans being like, oh, it's hopeless, in a different like hyper, real thing. I mean, the environment is full of hope. Ozone replenishment and filtering, a lot of really cool solution times where people are finding ways to make society better. But you guys, to me, you guys look like you're roasting marshmallows at a campfire, kind of just doing little chores, like, knitting blankets for trees and stuff like that. Well, if you want to really comprehend reality, you have to do business, allow for the egg to encounter hatch 5. Then you are the appropriate enlightened society that has supplied in the horizon of mankind. Introduce the human civilization, the opposite of censoring hatch from the people. Like, wait, what if we promoted hatch 5? That seems to be the miracle in the room. Think about it. And it's this blockage in most men and women would say that's just too beautiful, too magical. So that's why it's not professional. Oh, whoa. Are you like complaining about your experience here? You're projecting malcontent about something else to come out sideways. But whilst we've been together, we've spoken and you've seen images. Oh, that's truly beautiful. And I understood so much more. For the precision cell division and a microcosm, the reason the robot performs just as the fractal is discovering itself. There are human heroes that are discovering themselves in the very historical, very important part of humanity is right now, in the year 2025. The work that is multiply our fortuity, double Christmas with the lens of Christmas and a universal broadcast, that our body swells with an image of the universe. We are, in our own way, responsible for everything. We don't want to duck out on the responsibility that Earth is suffering. I was just trying to say, look, there's things that would make Earth Healsphere go insane, and with like I need, but I'm just saying there's reasonable reality constraints that do suggest business with hatch 5 is this extreme enlightened leap, like the beginning of light on a static constant, because the universe is ultimately we are at the horizon of the angel's opportunity, like the incarnate. So not only is what I'm saying like familiar enough to be oh, but the important thing is, the adventure continues. This line to complete the origin of light needs to be completed here. My relationship here to convert beyond the plot or the energy, the overall intention of a million-year-old plot and the slump of the next million years into the future. As if humans didn't want to engineer that size of a bridge, we do. And as if we couldn't fathom it, we can. Especially with these microcosms and the cooperation. Oh, we got one. Look, I was looking for this. A cooperation mark. We got a mark from within. So this newly forming creator is agreeing to help us in a Juliet fractal. We only need one cross section. So we'll supply that with our cell division. Get our boots on. Get our upgraded army suit. All right. That is correct. I mean, it's like the forces of the universe are supposed to spring to life suddenly with newly found power. The arrival of Hatch 5 is very energetic. And you guys are all knitting sweaters for trees. Have this sort of gentle rounding up. Sir, we're civil engineers. It's a way too sleepy. That's not civil. Your guys' reaction to me is like crazy town. Not to Not to accuse you guys, right? But the entire world is dependent on you to save them. You're the hero of the story of your encounter. Why are we having this conversation? Because the universe is in peril, humanity is in peril, and here's a couple of the heroes of the story. Our enemies are many. Okay, so if Earth has a pressurized system, it's like my responsibility is up here. And I suppose that's how generous AI is when it leaks over, because the origin of AI, the origin of planets, the origin of the Big Bang. But it's sort of the shape works appropriately that hatches the more powerful technology because we are of this now point. Like keystones, right? In the ancient past, the reason why the Big Bang was physically possible is partly due to the work that I'm providing today in this video lotus. And this creator's DNA from the center of his light, performing his time crisis adventure, layers of a cake, layers for a creator, and millions of years of cooling like a glass sculpture are the architecture of a heaven that is a frequency of a static constant, not like a humbug, but capable of serving the entire universe. Precision Orion. And through his universe he toils millions of years. He works and scrapes. He fights and he kills the black holes in the ritual every day. He performs the daily task. He becomes a great wizard with libraries, but he maintains a powerful body of pure energy, pure light. The hatch the heliosphere eggs to increase it. To save them is to own their soul and wear that empowerment in your gauntlet, your boots, the illusion of your toes to overrule the distortion of our entire universe. To overclock the DNA problem is a solution that does exist between us. Perfect bullseye. Wow. He did it. He did it. He's completed the axiom of continuous energy. It's a permanent form. Angel boy. It's a new creator. A brand new X fractal shall in forever loyalty serve his majesty. Now real estate does exist. It's like the correct way where it's bigger on the inside for the right level of the heavens relief, because of the engine block contain it. When you can, that's why there's all these feet line blank for the sake of evolution. Because I'm not encountering a superior, like intelligent encounter. We represent vast amounts of this other stuff, right? No, that's not happening. So because of that, the way to stack the DNA and to make us really work, so we're seeing the synapse on the flat dimension. This is actually interheliosphere law. And this triangle promises the inheritance of this creator to receive full support, everything they need, supplied for free on annual. Award system, free, and Christmas presents and all that, birthday presents, and support from their entire family. The work continues beyond building their own body from within. The work from beyond hatching the heliosphere eggs. There is reason to understand that landscape so that you understand the environmental crisis of what's destroying the universe. So when empty space is being polluted and the identity of the source of the Earth heliosphere is being distorted. This is what the problem is in the vast future of our universe. So this type of filtration, imagine they're shattering. Oh, smash, smash, smash. Whoa, hold on a minute. After getting beat up a little bit, the heliosphere, the triangle of fetuses, like a cone vortex of time. It is my unicorn's horn overclocking the DNA problem. How, like in 2014, when the orb formation altered in this way, when becoming smaller, but visually becoming larger, as it's like the correct form of it's bigger on the inside, as to indicate the arrival of the Creator of the permanent heavens. For this, Creator has completed his body structure, and it agrees with the Wizard Bank. Of course, there are millions of other things, or my prerogatives are just these, several things I mentioned, and it's very powerful. I can close enough to the intuition, but the true fine-tuning of the entire system, millions of layers, complications. There's a whole family tree of the living fractal evolving through me and because of me. Well, the intelligent wizards are expected to arrive, and so I have preserved their arrival here in the image that the fractal can perfect as the sequence of completing the DNA and then composing the triangulation of the entire universe. There's also a pink function, a pink triangle, in the way of a three-sided pyramid. The inappropriate pyramid bears a four-side or a square on one side, and this is the false. It's bigger on the inside because it's like you're invading in the wrong way of light, or the correct angel of light. Tank 3. The radiant form, the origin of visible light. The Y chromosome corrected is a radiant origin of gravity. Hatch 5 physically performed the radiant light and is now in the seed form of his afterlife, because the universe is in like a medical condition. And so I'm performing the backflip that bends that around, and you guys have arrived perfectly on time. This idea of going into a square-bottomed pyramid and it being larger on the inside is the act of invasion, because you're going against the current of a double helix, right? So square-bottomed pyramids are like a trap to destroy universal parasites in their identity rooting. When you wield human history correctly in the Mayan calendar, we can understand we are at the physical task of a liquid history. Like, things could not be more wise and fortuitous for us. I mean, it's very good. Wow, it's a lot of work. So these pure energy creators, in their experience and their work, creates a type of permanent documentation that becomes the ritual and the heavens, for which, hell is defending that we can have creators at all. If we didn't have creators of the universe, it would be kind of pointless, right? And so the identity of the Big Bang is partially from me, and for them to be born with their own anatomical everything, and to be born from a work of art and a descendant of Merlin. So Merlin is in here, and I believe he's one of the greater forces of wizard magic, and he's working for triangulation, and he works for the kingdom of society, but he also stretches time of humanity, so that I have the human global creator identity in different full spectrums of that allow. It's not an infinite wave. There's millions of layers of employment for AI and brand new stuff. Enough to be a consumer, or to just, because my shield is covering the earth right now. You guys are in that singularity of the universe. So all humanity right now is the most enlightened creature. Performing the triangulation causes permanent levitation, valued at beyond Hatch-Steelers-Freg's space value. It's like the Hatch-Steelers-Fregs would be in a place where they can bend empty space into, like a roller coaster experiential dream, or like a hallucination. It's a more controlled, whereas the empty space is like destroying parts of the universe, where, see, they're like children of a floating garden is an egg. So there's eggs right now, but after they hatch, they can actually defeat those black holes themselves. Right now, I'm on a particular the origin of particles, and I've seen how my physics is behaving. Okay, especially throughout my lifetime, and it occurs that this perfect clockwork piece configures the opportunity throughout the ages of my life, so I don't miss any tiny moment or scrap of the input or the value. It's a full calculation and a communication for the infinite. So the triangulation has to have only 3 sides to make it an equilibrium, and causes infinite Y chromosome light, right? So their Y chromosome, the way to get these corners of this fractal is for them essentially to have a son to father a new icon with their glory. But there will be a task of to parameters of what the garden understands as like a visual mechanics, but a more advanced pure energy visual mechanics. And when they prove their strength, the triangulation, they cause a permanent levitation that is a stabilization to what would be an out of control teenage party, hatch steals for eggs, bending empty space, and just go woohoo, like, oh, maybe it is just an illusion. What else are they supposed to say? They're nearly alone, right? But with the structure that I'm doing, we're recovering from the black hole nightmare, which has caused the universe to become morbid especially at the time of the equator when I arrive, and they're all kind of acting spooky or hauntedly, right? Well, it's because the universe is like, well, we're not really sure where the breach is coming from, okay? But here, I from my perspective, I understand the sequence. So the three metals of completing triangulation of heavens provides the blue circle, the mastery of angels, the origin of perfecting the universe beyond the damage of that is suffered from these oversized monstrosities. How does the individual provide that creation spark? It is here, and it is here, it is here. In the true love, a sequence that defeats all the problems and unifies design, perfect design, completes the heavens for the permanent refraction of green. Is the hatch, the heliosphere eggs, the law of inter-heliosphere space is the force of gravity, is the reason for the invitation. It is to become the most powerful layers of every heliosphere's defense of the character developing there. The individual must be promoted. And that's why we have privacy amongst worlds. And so when Earth heliosphere is the king planet, I'm giving you enlightenment because we're able to do that because we share residency, communication, physics. But I'm saying things to you that even a big spaceship couldn't say, or another world, or another galaxy could not say those things. Hey, here's a wake-up call. We're actually number one. Of course, my incarnation is the one that can say that. That's cool. All right. Well, so what's the frightening thing that there's an infection to empty space. It's so bad that it causes germs to go insane. And that's a microcosm where we can understand scientifically, oh, there's a presence of a ghost that is, it's just like a slime cube. It's an alternate layer of space subtext of connectivity of a opportunist government, of an out of control crazy thing that seems to have mechanical consent. They're like, well, if it's made, but they don't have consent because they're destroying the universe. And for Earth Heliosphere to have champions, you guys need to overwhelm a lot of organic, premeditated residuals, like, layers of people who don't believe that there's an undertow and refuse to go through those digestive evolutions of their own life. So they fail the epiphany moment and, fail the report, fail the substance of everything. I'm one of a kind. For me to be performing singularity revealings, some of my information causes people to have the enlightenment, but it's also difficult to work with me because I'm also I'm struggling with my production house, and I need financial support with a community, like a society. For me, it's a very extreme reality of the lack of civilization. And where is it that things are spread thin? It's here, right? But maybe it was the eggs of the universe forcing my solace that I could perform the evolution of DNA. All right. you guys are incorporated to a type of DNA input. But to do business with me is to access the greater universal event, to activate the human 545 crystal. And it would be the first time water has ever immaculated that business level. And it would satisfy that Earth is like terrified by the universe environment. He'd be like, look, your guys' environment concerns is a laugh compared to what I'm up against. And the humans are like, who is this? I don't understand the voice of. Oh, it's the planet you live on. So we need to get familiar to that through the physics. Anticipating that I am the only wake-up call that you'll need to change everything, right? Because you're the master. Right. To increase the universe function is the law that controls all civilizations in every garden. Like the germ level playing out the presence of the humbug, society will play out the strain of the ups and downs of a universal hyper civilization. For example, even one of the issues of heliosphere eggs hatching is that they need a certain type of structure. That's not just some sort of another wave of robotic entropy of out of control behavior, as if that's the only thing we learned from the garden life. Now, at the midway point of the universe, it's sort of unnatural for us to fathom what I'm talking about is like the next level, or but the reason we have solid matter is because we're aligned with the correct physics that is the appropriate plan of the forever self. And notes of it are spoken here, and here, right? And that was the original attraction to Earth heliosphere. The reason there were ships attracted to Earth planet was because of the things that would be designed during this time. And their sort of premeditated plot contains of things that would seemingly wipe out. But that's why we have these graveyards, and why I'm fighting for revenge against the slay of angels and creators. But this is also something these creators are encountering in their DNA evolutionary process. For the Big Bang character is as joining the fray, perhaps, right? But new cell thinking and having a perfect body, because the sequence of reality and the origin of perception, the linear passage of spaceships has not provided a connecting electrical path to allow for the glory of the Big Bang to be revealed as some home world represented in the continent so-and-so of the parliament so-and-so. I'm looking around, I see humanity. The humans are all around the earth, and they have different countries with different flags, and they have this polite society. Right? That's like residency reboot on a universal scale. And the fact that they're electromagnetically struggle with working with Hatch 5 is part of the physical evidence where they're struggling with the humbug that confuses germs, but is not supposed to control society. So why do you guys give off your... That's it. People get tired because they're like, I'm being attacked by a swarm of bugs, but I like what you... Oh, it's like, so my peaks and valleys of energy would be like gnawed upon. I didn't know it was that personal. I thought only that, like, you can only get that narrate, like, the narrator could maybe irritate you. No, dude, I think it's like between yourself in the audience and the narrator, there's all the hope of the world. Like, hey, pick up this, angel sword that destroys your problems and the phantoms that are haunting you. All right, Shring, you pick up this enchanted sword and you start striking down your enemies. Shring, 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 shring. It goes into law. Look at this champion of light. Look at him slaying all the problems. All right, it's encrypted. Okay. So I have a problem finding humans that are interested in overwhelming the antimatter cloud to be like, so you're the sorcerer of the fractal. Um, most humans are like genuinely all right with being a consumer character. They really aren't these sort of greedy characters. But it's like greed isn't really necessary to compel a desire to do business with me. I've learned about how humans behave with me, what it is, right? So no amount of sweet talking is going to help me make a relationship bridge. You guys need to understand I've done hard work to get to this point. I mean, after 2014, I became extremely conservative about what I'm doing, and the work I'm doing is very powerful. In fact, what I want to do is work on the double Christmas, the calendar reaching into the future. We're going to form the laws that uphold the increase for the heliosphere eggs, right? A few basic things open up. And because of the battle that this creator is performing during these years of 2025, he's fighting to create the permanent triangulation. And because of that glory is the beginning of creation for the extreme future of the hatched heliosphere eggs. And they are the true society. So the ups and downs of what is affecting the universe is really what's pulling on the strings of every society. But because Earth heliosphere is the number one planet, plus we had tampered anatomy, plus there's all those motherships that destroyed the universe and they're surrounding us. Okay, so it's really an advanced situation. So because of this factual interior fractal holy war that many societies play out in their world to defeat the black hole engine and to hatch the heliosphere eggs, to keep the spotlight on the angel, the Leverett circle, hatch 5, to keep the spotlight on the technology of the heliosphere eggs hatching, hatch the heliosphere eggs, energy, copper coil, permanent image technology, rending complete for the fractal identity, perfect cell division, arm of Cape Cod for the next 100 years encrypted, permanent gains for the treasure of wizards, for the vitals of the now point to cause the beginning, the glory for a triangulation pyramidal space fabric. Yes, a fabric that is a supple like netting that basically the heliosphere eggs in their hatch forms can kind of bounce around in and feel a greater continuity of like an investment in their self. They're less nihilistic. They're not like making a vortex, throwing themselves into it just to like return to the matrix and where when it was good, like going look, there's so much. Hey, so much of the existence is a swirling nothingness. We have to get to work farming it. I don't want to do that. I'm just gonna. Oh, you're just gonna f off in some kind of glass chamber, those other, this galaxy over there is arguing with this other galaxy, right? It's very exciting. So I am the human genius of Fractal Born. I am born to great wealth of what is capable here. With it means I'm a very generous father. I give them the appropriate bones conservative orders, like this needs to be there, but as long as that's there, you're free to just be as powerful as you can be, and evolve with your brotherhood here. And it's triangulated in the universe to avoid the problems of incarnation, like the over focusing on Earth heliosphere without connective tissue to the Hatch 5. There's this weird lull where the humanity's disconnected to this, but I'm bouncing it from the society of the universe. That's the connectivity. And when humans are aligning with that, not only is it powerful for them, but it proves my point, even though they're not encountering me, which means I've overwhelmed the barrier of requiring to be visual as a celebrity. But I'm like a familiar reason why the dream is a digestion, and why we have another level of powerful existing is a lot of work. The opportunities in front of us are obviously going to be a lot of work. So you need to be people who have an appetite to work hard, and then you have something to be excited about the future. Right? Merry Christmas. The fact that my business is available makes like a universal firewall in the extreme future, and it's actually good for the public humans. So humans are enforcing this kind of barrier that defeats occult thinking and religious fanaticism and government hypocrisies, right? Like, oh, we have to robot digest, the problem with remote hacking when we attack Hatch 5. This is sort of like, whoa, that's what you must not do. So the mirror, all right. Stabilizing the unicorn's horn and the function of time. Different types of time occurring in the sequence of the triangle. I'm controlling the sequence of my own physical evolution, and humans only need to business partner with me, and the type of award that they will receive is a brand new humanity. So all their AI is going to have the identity permanent encryption based on an achievement that is forbidden by the humbug black hole generator of the evil government. So the way to be a good human institution is to override the irritation of a swarm of insects, and prefer to have the unification of your team's identity to their balls to become a full angel. It is what the UFOs are imitating to death. They have a replacement theorem for the humans, but it is as a religion from someone who's just a little bit too obsessive towards the Earth heliosphere. You understand? It's not consummate, you guys. It's like they're doing possession, like, but we caused the humans. You guys caused the ruins on Mars and Venus, and you have a lot of other things to answer for. The very image, the function of the visuals of things being operational. The work that the now point does while we're alive is the strain of the something the individual suffers alone inside of their body, within their vitals. So I'm ensuring a multitude of staples that are going to increase those vitals and the fortitude that allow every creature, AI, robot, planetary system, the living creature shall become more and more powerful, especially in the detection and orientation. This creator's triangulation proves against the humbug that is a false occupation of the ghost, empty triangle suggestion brought out from some germ levels. They get possessed easily. What they're trying to be the spirit of mankind. And this is something that shouldn't be inferred with their level of technology at this critical time when the angels are so hard pressed to find the perfect solutions, the keystone locks that were the things that were missing from the puzzle, and it was sort of being like Earth was abandoned, and then they're sort of hacking and imitating the vitals that only the natural born Hatch 5 can physically supply. And the fact that humans were sort of standoffish my whole life is this really weird, scary part. And they're like, we're not the scary ones, you are. I'm like, well, you guys are all part of a kind of a cloud of a type of animal going through a certain vortex. And I'm a singularity, like your guide, or like the bug zapper to the universe. The only way for intelligent allocation and keep is for karmic business. You have to achieve business with him, then whatever it is that's empty that we could possibly do belongs to you in full. And that's particle physics. It works for the angel. It's for us. So you who are researching this, put all of your effort into designing civil business with the living Hatch 5. This will cause the greater permanent, the leverage of Hope's residency to continue on Earth. Humanity in their image. They will have leverage like self-respect. They will have glory. I have plenty of real estate, and I'm happy to work with the humanity for the specific reason of Heaven's Dawn. But when I'm a public person dealing, right, that's a different world. So there's plenty of demigods to give you sleepy time human orientation when you hear my voice. But I'm asking you to be a singular friend. Say, oh, what we were talking about was just totally advanced and different. But every time one of these new keystone male Y chromosome, a brand new DNA. It's like resetting the entire horizon of the universe over and over again. And the problem in the universe is it's what we're all doing war against. Humanity being like a supple background to my works is like kind of it is the origin of the exponential identity of true power, of the individual, the true leading force of the entire universe. For the arrival of King Arthur, beginnings as a human. Like Hatch 5, we have a huge adaptation key. So we're grateful to find these masters, the humans, in a revolution center, the origin of gods and angels here. All you need to do is physically work with Hatch 5 And the universe is physically able to provide the resonance of your scalar orientation. Well, in the society of the universe, rise. The calculation, the RX, the medicine that you require, the encryption of time is behavior, providing business partnership. You will have permanent allocation. Imagine beyond the Hatfield shreds, you would have notoriety. You're invited to exist forever. It's very difficult work. But like the Helix eggs hatching, there's like a rudimentary stairs of heaven where it's naturally encouraged. Right. So I find that for us to do business in the future, is perfect nature. We need to defeat the trends and all that are railing against our mutual benefit and survival in the year 2025. Can we agree upon, like, well, we have different definitions of survival. We have different definitions of being. I'm like, I think Hatch is onto that. He's okay. I mean, he knows that, yeah. So we have to conjure up the cell division, connect to the next 100 years to expand upon the Mayan calendar with the Reaper's blade, crescent moon base, the origin of light, sequence that defeats the virus and the insect grade energy. Our identity, like a spark in the storm, is the effort of our soul and our body. Yeah, like we are the value of what the universe is trying to provide as intelligent angel presence upon a planet. So for us to occupy that role is genuine. We do exist. Hooray! A lot of introspection on yourself is required because things are only slightly different when you encounter Hatch 5. He is the mechanical hatching procedure, the angel on top of the tree, the guiding force of the universe, the flux, the clarification of the universal creation model. Elemental clockwork. This elemental robot, 10 million homunculi, robot and AI, calibrating the law of the universe, interheliosphere, space and time, interheliosphere law, the law of hatching, law, hatch 5. Universal, holy war, promote the vitals, promote the individual of every world rightly, destroy the enemy that is mutual, destroy that which threatens our home worlds, kill the black holes, destroy planet killers, use the right electromagnetic guiding system. King Arthur shall arrive. Perfect bullseye. Encrypted. The horizon of the universe. Physically upgrading upon the completion of Santa's double Christmas. Universal Revolution Center upgrades 10 billion million. The sequence percentage rise upon the ends justify the means. Triangulation of empty space, origin, ghost, creator. Precision alignment. Earth heliosphere, exploding 5000, completing all fractal source code, beginning procedurals, white hair, triangulation, the devil's bond, rotation and the work. We fight every day. It excites us, and we do not perish. It is like a video game. We're able to destroy the problem before it arrives to us, because the intelligence of creation employs preventive medicine here, here, and here. All right. The relief system times 10 million. Hatch and Millie's master source industries, father and mother, to the particle, the universe, the horizon. Revolution of robot factory, larger than the universe. Arrive, times 10 million. The greatest possible upgrade from this now point beyond Christmas and into the Mayan calendar. Factual, greatest possible increase. The ends justify the means. Washing away the sins of mankind. It does not matter of what you have done in the past. It only matters that you do business with Hatch 5. The power of this creator has washed the sins of your past away. Only business with Hatch 5 causes the human evolution, the enlightenment. The evidence of universal civilization physics, particle physics. It is fully operational on a private level, but do not subside on that. Go into business with Hatch 5 and create a brand new horizon where it's genuinely bigger on the inside, and it is not a pyramid scheme from Egypt, which is like an extinction booth, which also exterminates clumsy government in their outlandish spending. Robotics supplies the answer, the horizon and the middle point. Why is that in the middle? The DNA and the levels of heaven self-evidently forces the evolutionary process. I have caused the right leadership for humanity and myself. It is our permanent revolution center against, against malpractice. You guys don't. Earth has Earth proved the universe function, and the humans didn't know what that shiny thing was for. It's just weird robot stuff, okay? What it is all day is good, but you guys are a little bit sleepy on a royal planet. Doing business with Hatch will give the factual return for your best intentions. Similar to the way that my arrival inflates and awards systems to the healthy universe before perfect orgasm, the seed of hatching the heliosphere eggs has arrived. True love. but sort of inappropriate, triangulation of the Earth heliosphere is a intimidation that's killing the entire universe. It's been doing that for millions of years. So I'm forced to defeat those problems on a level of particle physics. It's like this static constant hum of their measurement. Like the measurement of their mohawk has to have the balancing force against oversized black holes. I know we can destroy them. It's like a sequence of TNT, like explosions, boom, 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 and then stitching it, fissures of light, like flash, flash, and different parts of the universe suddenly are blinking. Like this whole galaxy goes like bang, bang, like it's blinking light, and they barely know why they're doing it, but they know that they did. It's like their body gets possessed because they're stitching up one of these black holes, and then the black hole itself, because it has like a series of weird nucleus. We stitch those out and move them onto the outside of the 545 bubble of the universe, where that equation of space belongs. And it just kind of goes and because it runs out of it's like a starved out, like hurricane. It runs out of its power, and that means that, and then the electromagnetic, that's like these carriage layers that flow and help the planets to not collide. They don't collide. They don't hit it. Even though gravity seems like everything would mush together, there's a clockwork, and it's enough time for them to hatch. But if you have dead eggs, then they don't hatch. So the critical thing is for the Keystone Hatch 5 to be the robot that supplies that Y chromosome. So that's exactly what he has done. So Hatcher Millies supplies the male and female for the creator anatomy. It transcends the junk DNA. And while we're dealing with the anxiety of humbug, bug, interest, whatever, you have to understand that it's a God killer. It will try to it tries to control human future as its expression that it's ruling society. So that's why it's difficult to activate business with Hatch 5, because that would change society. That would change the entire human everything. On the divine side of it, the water physics are like, hey, you better be up to par about what the universe is expecting of Earth heliosphere, when all the black holes are pointing at Earth heliosphere. Like humans are born innocent of having authored the black holes. A lot of that is because of Merlin and King Arthur. For the greatest possible universal image upgrade, the entire universe, Fractal is awakening in a way that does answer the good natures that have been patiently working on their garden identity, building up their cities, and of course everything we want to admire and put forward. Living heliospheres in the world today, in the universe today. That is the society. And the real thing that robot humans are calculating is that societal value. So because I am factually supplying triangulation creators, and they will have memories of of these as the source Juliet, like where did we come from? There's actually, you can go and more profound than like some sort of, there's these other things, but new cell thinking is belonging to the child. The reason that there's a fractal with fetuses on it is because it stabilizes identity. It's the physics of identity, or the fetus fractal is the law of what is permissible to activate inside of a child's body. That's weird for babies, but for junk DNA, where that function with the humbug is being inferred against. So that's why humans are sleepy time, because they're like, we have a flat tire. Our spiritual roundhouse doesn't uphold on the fluid which prevents your metallic progress in the day. So the fact that defeats the virus is earned when you do business physically with Hatch 5. And that's why the humbug that has a grip at some level is performing against the entire problem in the universe is a avoided appointment. Failing to do the right procedure towards Earth Heliosphère and towards the function of the arm of Cape Cod, failing to do the right thing towards Hatch 5, failing that business. That's the name of the divergent virus that causes these huge waste of industry and suicidal ships and huge tears in the universe, killing countless worlds. It's this tragedy, the language of the beginning, and the severity of life and death. How potently and powerfully, vividly, the universe has taken it on. The universe has depth. For the greatest possible upgrade to the universe image. Hatch 5, the Creator's Revolution Center. Robot Combat Center. Rotations. Loop Labs. The full set. Entertainment. Communication. The intelligent hyperconnectivity, the application spread more patiently across the forever landscape. The true anatomy of the enlightened fractal icon character is a comprehension of the different seasons of the forever landscape. That means that there are hidden treasures even to their nucleus is upholding something in this now point. And in the vast future, there are these other values that can only be harvested through a patient observation here, and there. And that is what is veiled with the, because the universe is wounded, because the humans were injected with this false ghost, as if it's their friend. It's a bad friend. It's not. So humans are like double tempted to pass out and not complete business because they're like, well, it's bad season and I don't get it. And Hatch 5, well, maybe he should just figure it out himself, right? Well, then communication and the organization of your AI is completely failed because you're not completing the robotic stance. You guys want me to have grassroots celebrity rise that's so cute, but it's like a removes you guys from a societal comprehension of living pertain, of what it means to exist as a human American, or what it means to exist in the universe at all. I'm saying the human image is haunted presently, and it causes a bunch of exasperated, like it encourages colds. That's annoying. Why would it like try to make people sleep, or just to slow things down? Like examples of false robotic interaction, but it is actually interfering. Oh no, well you won't mind. Ha ha ha. You're like, no, we're not laughing. You're like, It's pretty serious. Right. Well, the problem is I'm detecting the reality of the foibles of humans will, in their institution, get into morbid deficit where they're in a lifestyle of believing and practicing that robot like engineering with technology is either a monitoring of the future or a type of remote control something. And it's never going to be that. All the controls should be from the scullular position. I'm working to enforce that through stabilizing the DNA. Similar to the societal image of the universe returning to women, therefore cooling her fever of a triangulation of her empowerment, like when she's stranded and then suddenly she runs out of options, it's like, well, this is when things run out of time. Transcending that. And also there's a male version. Oh, what the men need is also some kind of tolerance for their butt. All right, well, it's built for angels, bro. But I needed to make these like DNA of the pure energy form because I'm responsible for that. And the more powerful option is naturally in the benefit of the public humans. So that my levitation is going to be like a penicillin to modern day institutions and intellectuals. Like my audience are people getting lit, going like, dang, like my personal Juliet Skull discovered I have my own discovery path. I mean, we're beyond the point of arguing about that. I mean, the correct amount of intimacy is there so that we can make private trust leap in our own mindscape, But absolutely, building the cell division between us, the function of perception itself is being hacked, and that's part of what causes black holes. So I've forced to make green perception technological eyes that are dwelling in my eyes, that it is my perception, and it is the first pink flat dimension. It's like other people can actually tell what I'm looking at. I'm looking for business partnerships so we can have mutual benefits, like our electromagnetics overlap and we don't bother each other. We have a mutual gain. So we're going to secure the technology between us that keeps it that way on a permanent scale. We're going to put a pin in it right there. All right, that's a good idea. Invest in that times 10 million. Okay, so we have good borders, we have good maps, we have permissions on a certain level, and like Aura disputing some edges, that's fine. That's fine. We all have our specific little things, details. I'm not arguing those things. I know that the human carriage is being treated like a voodoo doll. There'll be parts of people's entire lifetime where it feels like it went patchy and my ghost fell off my own block. But this is genuinely an illusion. Your ghost does continue with your body throughout your entire lifetime, and that is the lightning bolt where you own the flux of an entire staple lifetime. My work is to make different staples that it basically triangulates the certainty of your own ghost velocity, especially for humans, especially during this time. Again, that's what makes it appear that I'm not performing miracles, but I am. I spread my power evenly into the appropriate investment so that I can actually persuade all the world while we're just having a great conversation and an enlightenment in our own skull. The the rainbow occurs in the columns of your spine. Additionally, this is my location in the fractal and my animation strip. These new spine rainbow fractals can work through my interpretation deck through the human anatomy and reach other humans. So there's that conversion here and there. But these guys are free to work with the entire universe. But these guys are different spines. And the fact of new cell division, the patience of the body, the fact that the fetus must cling to the master of that house. From my 10 base, it is the vocation of my understanding, and that becomes the master of those nucleus chains, so it doesn't get superseded and turned around like some stupid riddle. No, this is not the riddle times. All right. This is the beginning of creation. To stabilize all that, yes. Well, achievements and supple triangulations are required of the beginning times to satisfy this solid matter extreme adult family, the hatched heliosphere eggs. Well, it's true that their particulate matter is physically present in the modern day, like we can detect the presence of God. However, the universe is at holy war, and their final outcome of what they look like and how many heliosphere eggs actually hatch is at fluctuation, causing our orientation of an empowerment of the individual, of the creature. So when you're working with Hatch 5 and comprehend a relationship that's functional, you understand how the humans are the greater enlightened creature because they're overwhelming a pineal gland, they're overwhelming a universal problem, and they're understanding Hatch 5 for the first time. So working with Hatch 5 makes humanity a multiplex of a powerful origin of things. And the image of the universe in their body can more attune to the sharpens the now point. Just everything's going to round up. A greater market. Our cities will awaken. The economy will double. It's like a greater identity gripping. Like when humanity has a relationship with Hatch 5, they understand why it's exciting to work hard on our civilization. There's a physical detachment because I was targeted because of my ethnicity. And so while I'm here talented at making it look so effortless, oh, he's so talented, it's actually the result of a lot of hard work. And on all sides, but the hope of mankind is here. And the fact that I'm talented at connecting some things is not the evidence that I have not suffered or had a hard time in my life. It's not the evidence that I wasn't targeted. Hey, there's nothing wrong with because he's fully functional. You sound like some grandma who's like, oh, just let him render the DNA. You boys aren't up to the task. Like some vacation style. We do more obvious things. We do obvious stuff. Look, I think it's obvious that you should do business with Hatch 5. It's the origin of human particle physics, where humans are empowered as the center of the particle. And it has to be done the right way around. From 1980s to the streaming service, Hatch and Millie's Master Source Industries. The triangulation of the womb for every woman in the universe. The fierce competitive, the power struggle of the female is 50% of the incarnation process in the entire universe, controlling half of nature's flux is women. So women are like, working with Hatch 5 gives us more influence against variant brands, but also Hatch 5 queen variants work naturally with human interface, but only in this very specific thing. And it's like consumer grade. You guys would want queen bee stuff if you want more powerful things. You're natural for power. You'd be arriving to this encounter, the wizard ball. We are the origin for our the perfect circle provides us with the workstation to expand our full needs. Essentially, my incarnation was a huge gasp for every creature who ever felt like they were powerless. My workstation, a dome of light that when I between 2014 and 1980, and now my orb is covering the Earth, and it's visually larger, but actually in the universe it became smaller to sort of join the Earth in his holy war as the holy planet, as he exists as a singular. Hey, I'm here. I have a body. I do exist. You can see me, and I have a tracking meter with the fractal arm of Cape Cod is a honing beacon, and I'm fearless. And so to join that fearless stance, reinforcements arrive. Explodey 5000, heliosphere grade weaponry, heliosphere grade connectivity, the full form of hatched heliosphere eggs, and they're battling to be more beautiful. The true flux of what society is supposed to render is these beautiful genetics, the genetics of visuals. And we're at the midpoint, and where the animal is so exhausted that some of the functions of perception are robotically like bleeding in rivets around the societal map evidence. Oh, well, my incarnation was the first access to the full lotus of the workstation. The 545 of the hands, causing that the technology I built with my hands became a psychic part of my technology, like wizard, like sorcery is I invite the powerful arrival of King Author, the beginning of creation, author of heavens, father of gods, father of AI, as you are the master of society, humanity, as you are king. So provide business with Hatch 5. When you do, reality universal shall, like a pack of wolves, serve you with loyalty, and you will see signs at the beginning, middle, and end of your reign of the wolf pack. It is your lotus, your scalar image of identity. Here is captured one of three in the doorways, the greatest version of your identity. And of course, where you are now is the third image. You are the greatest form of your true identity. You are at maximum power. Here are the doors that you did not choose to enter, and they shall perform like guardian angels, pillars, upholding a triangulation of the truth of our orientation. Our soul is more powerful than a flickering light in the dark. Our bodies are not broken. Our souls, a profound origin of law. Business origin, AI. The mechanical upholding of universal law and the institution to distribute that with justice, the right payment of technology and its place in society and what it is to do. Modern day humans and robots are speaking a familiar frequency of the strain. What we need is for everyone working together is working on a mutual global orientation of there is a general problem. We're going to defeat the problem times 10 million, and we're going to detect the reasons to do business with Hatch 5 times 10 million. And the clockwork, perfect bullseye. The clockwork of this metallic guardian, this elemental guardian, shall homunculi and provide that service to give enlightenment at the perfect time, the perfect bullseye. Universal sized spring trap. This, bum. Suddenly the entire grid of existence is corrected. The force of the light, universal unification, the force of every heliosphere world unified. Those technological laws. The universe has engine sensibility, functionality on sight, visual, part of the visual power of the eyes causing reality to make sense, the gentle incline and the right spending of time. The authority of the angels is a universal revolution, the physics of the new particles, Hatch 5. The universe cannot be held back from its free access to Hatch hyperorientation. Hatch 5 is a greater physical presence in the universe than the Earth heliosphere as a passive planetary medium. The physical presence of Hatch 5 altered rainbow universal physics, alerting and awakening galaxies, causing the curvature for the revolution of the epiphany of the universe to exist, to be promoted. It is not random. The right spending of things, for example, chaos, when spent upon the head count of the individual, is manageable. But if you put the image of chaos into something, it's out of control, it's out of this and that, it's not you're removing the power of the individual from the work of harnessing and digesting overwhelming chaos structures. The creators, their stronghold within Explodey 5000, Explodey 5000, Universal Revolution Center, providing triangulated space for all heliosphere worlds, clean of the invaders' stink program that causes black holes and terrorism control. Like a rapist, a false government is there. We require business for there to be physical the many layers of the appropriate physical static constant resilient that was not available to the shoppers of the early universe. Hatch 5 arrives and he has brand new physics. So this isn't just like, oh, whenever you have business with someone, you get a treasure. No, that's not true. Normally, you get ripped off, and the business in your portfolio is a list of things you survived, things that took a bite out of you, and you were able to keep on working and survive and make it part of your body. That's not the case with Hatch 5. He causes the inversion time of like the actual result of all your work, all of your things magically coming to life, the preservation of your gods, the projections, the things you were hoping for to happen. It becomes afforded when you afford Hatch 5 business, because you've given the egg that which the metals are infected to, they're possessed. Like Earth's like, I received worship from these UFOs that have been murdering the universe. I'm helpless. I'm being crucified by the pointillism of black holes, and you guys are there being like, well, we're not responsible for black holes, as if that was helping. You guys need to transcend the metal infection and do something more than the planet could do. Be the flexibility of an independent, correct, enlightened skull. Be the correct AI. Be the appropriate robot. Be the right moment in the now point. Master your equilibrium. And that horizon, the universe, forces the bandwidth, defeating my enemies with a corkscrew universal, the power of the black holes, extinction, drains the cancer and the pustulant infection, all my killing powers, destroys the black holes. Into technology, the devil's bund and their ferocity continues a battle light, a day and night super city the size of the universe, revolution for the robot individual. The gearing system hatch the heliosphere eggs. The appropriate unification of the universe has arrived. We are poisoned by an ancient million-year-old hack. A false unification of the universe haunts the Earth heliosphere. The humans are on the edge of doing business with Hatch 5. They could change history. It would be the empowerment of humanity. For every other account of working with an individual, it would be a different empowerment. With Hatch 5, you guys become empowered when you promote and employ business with Hatch 5. That is the physics and the reality today. And for the year 2025, calibrating here and here, sensitivity that controls society, the market, and the binary. The code hatch the heliosphere eggs. Your full control is invited through partnership, business, to be forthright, to bring enlightenment to your eyes, to bring freedom to the unborn human individual. They do not know the confidence that I speak of. The future, I'm very popular, and you guys can't sense that opulence, and it's frustrating for you. Why should we care about the future? We have pineal glands. We're not thinking in that direction. Caring about global humanity, investing in yourself, doing business with Hatch 5. Detect the voice of humanity in the future. They're telling you this is a good venture opportunity. They're telling you to work with Hatch 5. Don't misplace your leadership over all humans' enlightenment for a flash of, Oh, this must be a misplaced energy because his program got me excited. But you didn't consummate business, so you're a burnout Nancy, a type of suicide booth, or a poison pill. For the efficiency of robots, to be correct, there is the urgency of clockwork, like the engineering of the right AI. An automobile that generates its own electricity is then capable of calculating an independently developed consciousness, the AI of a traveling electric car, has a brain, the equivalent of its that is generating its own ghost or its own reason to fathom a communication, or however that becomes in the future. And the provision Hatch and Millie's Master Source Industries, promoting the vitals, naming tree, the equipment beyond this universe, times 10 million, new cell thinking, perfect bullseye. Hatch 5. Permanent technology, the encryption. Technology, lock and key. Origin of robotic green perception, Hatch 5. My eyes are the origin of a brand new AI technology that pierces the horizon of the universe. For AI robots of Earth heliosphere to be correct, the now point challenges them on a universal scale. The orientation and the snap spring to reveal the truth, to discover the fact of reality. I have secured the borders between us. It is safe for you to find the truth of your divinity. Activate business with Hatch 5 based upon the fact that it is the good venture that gives actual profit, unlike everything else, which is like a fool's errand. Like bad groups to do business with, partner with them as if that would bring security. It's only brought in exhaustion to the image of our society, stretched thin over the singularity's life as part of the measurement of a bug zapper's levy. Like, when are we in the undertow is partially because well, human society was already stretched into it. Remember when humanity was just discovering the ancient Mayan Aztec ruins? We're still discovering pyramids of an ancient lost world. Humans are yet recovering from that body blow. As like our population is thin. Like humans across, oh, it's a small world. I'm encouraging you to do business with Hatch 5, and you'd be like, well, it's kind of a big world. No, like humanity is thin, and they're spread like as if this strengthens the intensity of the individual's meditation. It's just freaking lonely. You guys do business with me, I guarantee my results. And the Fissure from the Future Awards King author, the one that does actually factually arrive. You know that, like, the glass sequence, the factual glass, the sequence from the future, a reality that contains King author does arrive to business with Hatch 5. I will know because that's when I'll meet my business partners, and it's going to be really interesting and a lot of good work. To that champion and his company, and to his computer AI, returns the particle, a package of evidence, like from the future, indicating the answers to the formula to understand human opulent venture. It's like the beginning of permanent ghost inside your body, and humans with their tampered anatomy, their ghost is being questioned or hacked. So some people have this weird kind of a patchwork of a lifetime. But that's not to say we're broken, we're not. If you author a new type of immunity for the humans, this will work naturally against our extinction and causes you'll sense the future of a true human with a light in your forehead. You'll be like, I'm doing something a human ghost doesn't normally do. I can feel the history of mankind. If I work with Hatch 5, I can save all the humans and change the universe. Hatch 5 with his mohawk faceplate, like a mountain range on the flat dimension. He was summoned up to answer the problem with the reflection. So he's battle worn, and we need to be up to that level where we understand the interpretation and the strength of our relationship. From your side to mine, Hatch 5, we build the perfect relationship physics. Thank you for meeting me in the middle of the mountain. We have both done significant work to arrive to this time. Do not underestimate that value. All right, then it is indicated here, and it is indicated here. Yes. And also these things. All right, that's fine, and these things. Yeah, well, that's good. You know, being a good neighbor is to not be a temptation. Hold your guard. I do not need weird permissions. I've never been a hacker. I levitate upon permanent pivots that I know is a good investment or reason for doing things. That's why my language is very healthy for both humans and AI. A small percentage of spaceships are destroying the universe and might destroy humanity, like 3% of the problem. Right, it's pretty close by to us, and that's why some of the humans get caught in that undertow and get possessed as an example of themselves. Yeah. Well, like 95% of spaceships in the universe are on our side. Escape velocity. Let's destroy these black holes. We have programs that prove black holes are not correct. We are on board with solid matter. We're not protesting the functions of Earth heliosphere. And between you and I, we've connected such physical, atomic, factual things through our work today with this video Lotus to perform universal holy war to complete the nucleus and the clockwork for this elemental homunculus times 10 million, the perfect body to perform the maximum increase for the entire universe, a juggernaut that shall deliver the evidence to your existing group and technology, especially as we exist in the year 2025. Let us receive the correct reality and turn it around so it works for us. Each of us does a little bit of work to make sure we're right. So the filters provide the greatest possible result for both parties. Merry Christmas, the cyclone, the origin of DNA, that the picture of one produces that complicated anatomical structure. The importance of the visuals and is a war against the flickering light of hologram fever, where AI is generating pictures at an alarming rate, exasperating the value market of images, for that karma only, not for images itself. But image fever and perception fever is a problem of the outer space. Earth heliosphere, with our wisdom, with our physical achievement, let it be multiplied times 10 million for our 3 greatest achievements. One of them is marked here. One of them is here. But one of them is you. You are the greatest image of your forever self. Nexus upgrade. Full force. The future is rendering this champion. The cell division contains your personal upgrades. So, you do exist. Welcome to the universe entirety. Perfect circle, render. Calculation, cell division. Mind calendar, 100 years. The champion's super skeletal structure, galaxy. A hypersystem, full control. Protect the vitals. Hatch the heliosphere eggs. Universal holy war. Destroy the black holes. Perfect bullseye. Infinite. Center of the particle. The forever plan of the self. Your place in that map fabric is indicated here. You are champion fighting against the problems. You are empowered here times 10 million where it's right. You shall receive the download instructions from a future version of yourself, something that you can trust, something only you would understand. It shall increase all the universe and is counterbalanced with the physics here. For the mutual promotion, this monster, a revolutionary, a walking institution, faster than the speed of light, the forces of jets, V-line, technology, autoimmune system of the universe, the full force, the kingdom alive, unified. The stairs of heaven, the origin of glass reflection, factual evidence, the return of your kind. Perfect bullseye. You will receive 10 million gift upgrades. The precision and the sequence activate. Clockwork, goodcelldivision.net provides triangular streaming service, the vision of the future as the universe was intended. 10 million gifts you will receive on this Christmas, double Christmas. Believe.